Good morning. Feeling it today. Well, not too bad. Just a little bit tired. It was a long day yesterday, but we cracked on. We made progress, and that's a good feeling when you make progress. We pushed on. We cut. We laid paving. We did a fair bit. To be fair. Well, this is how we left it yesterday. Apart from that one cut there. We've dry laid these out. Got a couple on top of each other here. So what we've got to do now, we've cut that one and we've got the next two cuts ready to go in. We've got some mortar on. We've got it slurried up. So we're going to lay that first rather now. Okay, here we are. So what I was going to explain to you is we laid a whole slab in here dry before we actually laid it. We laid it in, got it in position, and then we laid this cut over it, marked it. It's not rocket science, I know it isn't, but to some it helps. So just think of the people that get some sort of support of this. We've laid this one now, so if I just go over that again, we laid this one in dry as a full slab. Then we laid our pre-cut slab on this side, or tile, whatever you want to call it. We overlaid it and then marked it, and then I've cut it with this little ECD 115. It's a 2-in-1 vanity blade, so it cleans up the face and it does cut. It's a cracking little blade, mine. I know the super thin ones are good, but these are good as well. The good thing about this, it actually almost nearly creates the space that you're actually looking for. Now, if we look down here, okay, what I'm going to do, just going to show you now, we're going to put the spacers in on this side here first, right? And we'll put the spacer over here. Okay, there we are. Now, if you look at that, right, I know I've got to come this way a little bit to line that up, but if you look at that, and we were going to put a spacer in here, okay, that is, there we are, that is, right, it's 4mm on the top there, definitely, and over here, if we turn that round that way, I know this is, well, these are 3mm rather, but look, we're nearly there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up now, just to create that gap. Just look at it. Let me just show you now. If you get down really close, right, get down really close, look in end elevation from that point there, you'll be able to see, look at it, it's 1mm. So we've got probably about 2mm there. This is a 3mm spacer, so that's not bad cutting in itself. And this is our expectation. This is what we want to sort of achieve, and the standard of work that we want to get to. So, but if we put this in here now, you can see that goes in there fine. This is a 2mm blade, so we're going to clean this one edge up on here. Oh, just glad that never chipped there. Going to clean that up, and then we're going to get a spacer in here, but it's looking good. So what I want to do, I want to take you through what we're going to be doing next to try and explain it as easy as possible. So what we've got to do, we look at the half bond here, right? We look at that, line it through, and we're there. I don't think we're going to argue about 1/2 mil or whatever. So there's a halfway point of our slab. So what we've got to do, bear with me a second, just a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of sand, all right? Sand goes there, like so. The thing about the slurry in this weather is that you can't mix up too much slurry, because what happens, it just goes off too fast. There's another little bit of sand. We will remove this, I promise you. We will not be laying just on sand alone. Use a little bit of muck from here, there, and a little bit of muck from that bit there. So, bear with me. Over here, we have a full-size slab. Some people will say, why don't we just put the cuts in after? You can do, it's entirely up to you. I done one yesterday, I put a cut in yesterday, but really, I prefer this way because it's a little bit more accurate. See, we've got a little bit of a chip off on there, so that's no good. We're going to turn that round, there's a chip. That's the thing about this porcelain, and it's good to actually show you this because you can see what's going on. And there's a little chip on that corner, but that will come out on this side. It'll be showing on there. So let's have a look at these. You should use the suction cup with these, really give you a chance. It's not the weight of them, It's just the width of them. The width of they're 1.2, so they're quite awkward really, to be honest. So just bring that over until we got the space that we're actually looking for. You don't necessarily have to guess it. This is yesterday's laid slab. Or on that one there. I should be having knee pads on for this. So let's just go along there like so. There we are. That's perfect. I like to think it is. So we put our spacer in now to make sure we are heading in the right direction. Get that over. Just tap that down. Now, we can have a little cut to go in there as well, but we can do that. Yeah, that's right, that's correct. We'll have a little cut to go in here, but we've still got the half bond there. Got to look at it sometimes, just stand back and have a look and make sure you're heading in the right direction before you start cutting. So bear with me now. So what we're going to do now is this. We'll get the shovel again, just to line it up now. I'm going to a little bit of a pile there, and that's going to hold the slab up. So this is our next cut, and I'm correct in assuming the cut's on that side, isn't it, Dan?
Correct.
Yeah. So we're going to overhang this. Now this sound, it sounds really awful like when you hear it, but I promise you it's not scratching it at all. So we put that down here like that, keeping the weight up there. Let's have a look now. Bring that over here. Try and line that out. That's the thing, when you're moving around like this, and you can really easily chip them as well. Like, it can be so annoying. So let's just bring that up a little bit. So we're nearly there. Probably half a mil. There we are. Let's have a look down there. Got a good gap there. Not a good gap in size, but just the right size when I say good gap. So there we are. So that's coming through there, on there now. I've got my pencil in my pocket. So what we need to do, I'm going to carry this through now and show you. Make sure we've got a gap there. That's right, we're okay there. So now, our next one, hopefully, have a look. Cut.
Left side.
So what we're doing now, we've still got the cut on the left hand side, but what I was looking at now we're starting to turn around the corner, so that's what the reason I stopped and paused for a moment then. So we can drop this slab now on top of here, like so. Now, a lot of people say, like I just said, they think it's a lot of work, but for me, it's not. There we are, perfect gap there. And there. I know we've got another cut to go in. There we are. There's one there. Bear with me. Bear with me 1 second. Let's get a little bit more sand. And I prefer to do this because it works perfectly for me. You'll see in a minute, it seems a bit of a palaver doing it, but it's not. You do, without doubt, get the perfect shape. Well, I like to think. The only thing, like I said, when you're moving these around, like then, you've got to be so careful that you don't chip. We'll have to hurry up because we've got Radio 2 on in a minute. We're going to need to see. Go on the challenge. There we are. That needs to go over that way a little bit. Look down there. Now, if you look down this side, just go back over there and you'll be able to look down this channel here. If you go down, you'll be able to see, look down, you'll be able to see the nice channel and the shape that's created on here. So now we can mark with a pencil on here. Okay, if we do take those off. But what I'm going to do, bear with me just a second. Well, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to be doing something that you won't agree with. So we've got our line on there. We can move these cuts off here and we're ready to cut our infill. There we are. There's our cut in place, and that should be a perfect cut, really. Well, here is our cut now. We may have to run the cutter through it when we bring the paving on to it. So. There we are, that one's down. I'm going to sponge that off. First, I'm going to make sure that the muck is pushed in well underneath our mortar, our bedding mortar, and we'll make sure that each individual slab is sponged off as we go. Just run the cutter through that now, and it's looking good. So perfect there, but you can just see where it comes in there on the other edge of the slab. So we've got to create, there's about 1.5 mil there, but we want 3 mil. We've got the lining there. So important that when you're doing this sort of cutting, it's just important. Now I'm ready. I was just saying we've always had some really excellent customers, and we've had nightmare of customers, and I mean, and I'll say that, and I don't care if you are a potential client looking to get some work done. Just be nice, and be nice like Liz here and Richard and the family. The girls have been absolutely brilliant. They're so polite and really thoughtful, and it's not about bringing coffee and biscuits out, but the fact is that they did, and it just shows that they care. I think you should treat people like you like to be treated. Right, well, this now is what I regard as the perfect mix. Look, it's semi-dry, and it does hold and it forms together, but it is perfect. And the reason it's perfect is that it's got compressive strength. Well, I've talked about this so many times. It's so sad to see so many patios being laid across the country where the mixes are just so wet. You see it all the time, and even by the ones that we regard as being professionals, and they haven't thought about this bit, this semi-dry, which is, that's why they put screeds in houses, because it's got compressive strength, and that's why it lasts. When you start using all that water in mixes, and you see even on YouTube, you see a lot of those guys out there, they're using wet mixes. I'm not saying it's going to fail, but it has its disadvantages, okay? And this is, in my opinion, the best way to do it. There you are. It's coming on. Let's have a go over here. Let's have a look from this angle here. You can actually see the shape of the cut in there. Look at that. And it's taking a bit of time, but I'll tell you now, because we've taken our time, it's worth it. It's looking good. Is it perfect? Well, nothing's perfect. Well, there's the path. Let's take you down to what we've been doing. We haven't completed. I'll tell you now before we even get there. There we are. That's what we got. I don't know if you can see that. See the shapes coming around. So these slabs on the outer edge, They're 1.2 by 600. We've cut them to the shape to achieve this nice easy curve all the way around, and then, as I said so many times, laid at a right angle the paving on this side and cutting in as we go. Not bad.